Excellent. How are you?
Good. The background's kind of okay. It's down now. I
Can you
couldn't hear you at
can
first.
you see me properly or no?
Yes, I do see you. Where are you calling us from? Ada, is that right?
Yeah, it's right.
Okay.
I'm calling all the way from Arkansas.
Okay.
So, my questions are more towards mindset and growing as a person. So, I would like to know if you are okay with me asking you questions that about your journey and how that can help us that we're still trying to evolve and grow to maybe at some
Yeah,
point.
actually, for sure. I'm here.
Okay, if you can go back and start over, what will you do differently or the same to make sure you are as successful you are today?
If I could go back and do something differently, let me think. I would have betted on myself earlier. I would have trusted myself and believed in myself sooner because I feel like I was so scared of judgment. I was scared of how people would perceive what I did. I wasn't allowing myself to fully live and fully experience because I thought if I was doing that, I would get nowhere. And people told me I would get nowhere by thinking outside the box, by being um, fearless, right? But I read this quote earlier, and I'm about to read it to you because I took a screenshot of it. Let me pull it up. 1 second. And this and at the I didn't see this quote at the time, but this is something that I resonated with because this is what I had to go through in my head. If you don't want to get criticized, hide from the world. Be nobody, stand for nothing, never express yourself, keep your creativity hidden, but realize that a life lived in fear is no life at all. Progress and growth demand bravery. Have the courage to be disliked while staying kind, meet cruelty with grace, and stand tall in who you are no matter the noise. And I think that that's a super important quote. It's from Vex King, his name is. And I thought that was a super important quote because when you are on a journey, you are at a place where it's like, you know what, forget what everybody else says. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna do what I love. I'm gonna do what matters and what matters to me. A lot of people are gonna try to tear you down, and they're gonna try to tell you what you're doing is crazy. You need to stop. You need to do something else, right? But it's super important. It's super important during those times that you stay the course because as you stay the course, eventually you get to a place where you make it and you're doing well. Do I think am I at the place I want to be in my life right now? No. I would love to be, well, I aspire to be even greater than what God has already blessed me with, but I'm happy what he's giving me now. But what I will say is that when people come to me now, friends, everyone, it's always, wow, we love you, Dre. How can you help us? How can you do that? But that wasn't always the story. So the same people that are going to throw dirt on you and make you feel like you can't do what you want to do and what you want to accomplish isn't able to be accomplished are going to be the same people praising you once you reach the top. So that's my biggest advice, and that's what I would have told myself was start sooner. Because if I started sooner, I would probably have been way further than I am now. But another thing that I'm going to tell you all, and how I usually respond to that question, but I understood like what you were trying to get with that. But what I usually respond to that question is, I would change nothing because you learned so much, and your time is your time for a reason, right? So if I was to redo everything, I would change not a single thing because everything that I went through, everything that I experienced has molded me into the person that's in front of you now. It's all learning, it's all a process. So honestly, I would change nothing, but if I was to change anything, it would have just been to start sooner. So yeah, that's my biggest advice.
Thank you. Second question. Can I ask a second question or no?
Yeah, what's up?
I think I came on my For You page, one of your videos about poverty mindset. And I want you to explain what are the root causes, because I do believe, well, you in the video you said that minorities, but me personally and individually, I don't like to call nobody a minority, because I believe that the words we use affect us and how we see ourselves. So
Okay.
where do you, how can the roots of a poverty mindset, where are they coming from, and how can somebody overcome them when their own family or their own friends is having that mindset? So when the environment is full of the poverty mindset and the person is trying to evolve, the person is trying to grow, but the family and the environment say, no, you can't do it, don't dream too big, you can't have that amount of money, money is evil, don't dream so high. How can you overcome that?
Someone just said in the comments, you have to change your environment. And you have to a change your environment, and you have to b always remember what's in your head and what other people, that's kind of goes back to what I was saying about I would have started sooner. You can't allow other people's opinions and what other people think cloud your judgment. You can't allow people to have that much control over you. And if people start to have that much control over you, you need to change the people that you are surrounding yourself with. Yeah, don't let other people's opinions dictate your reality, right? Because at the end of the day, scarcity slash poverty mindset, it is common because, and I mean, I think it's something that we all can fall victim to. Like even I have at a certain time, even outside of people telling me that, but just myself thinking like, man, maybe this isn't sustainable. Maybe this is all temporary. That's sometimes things you just tell yourself as well. But you have to think greater. You have to always know what I've done is great. What I'm doing is great. And you have to constantly remind yourself that all the time. And it gets exhausting. But you have to, I hear people say this a lot. Sometimes you have to be a little delusional. You got to be a little delusional in order to really get to the place you want to be within this life. But I always say this: what was placed inside of your head was placed inside of your head for a reason. So it's not for the entire world to understand what goes on in your head and your thoughts. It's for you to understand, and it's your job, not the world's job, not everyone putting their 2 cents into you job. It's your job to cultivate the thing that was placed inside of you. Because when you cultivate the thing that was placed inside of you, that's how we enable change within society. That's how change comes along. When you think of some of the greatest people in society, you read their stories, they didn't do my mom told me to do this, so I just did it. Oh, my dad told me to do this, so I just did it. My best friend said to do this, so I did it. No. I did this. This is something that I loved all my life. This is something that I envisioned for myself. It's never this person envisioned this for me and it happened. You know what I mean? So you always have to remember what's in here is what the world needs to see. And it was placed in there for a reason so the world can see it. So yeah, that's my advice there. I know I tend to talk a lot, child, so I'm going to stop.
No, you don't talk. I mean, you talk. I'm educating, so I'm learning. So thank you for teaching us. Well, at least me, because I'm learning. I don't know everybody else. Well, I have a last question, so other people can join as well. I don't want to come here and take all the time, because everybody deserves to have access to you and what you have to share. Moving forward looking forward to 50 years from today, 10 years from today, what are the 5 top skills or mindset shifts you think somebody must have in order to succeed or in order to become the person they want to become? Moving forward, never backwards.
I don't know if I can name 5, but what I will say, these are good questions. Okay.
Thank you.
Perseverance. Um, respect. Um, someone that can be taught. Someone that a listener. Someone that can be taught. Not somebody who's a know-it-all. A know-it-all will get you nowhere. Um, work-life balance. I guess that's time management. Um, hmm,
You
I
mentioned
don't
work life
know.
balance, but do you think when you have those big dreams, those big goals, one of them had to be sacrificed, make be your
Well,
life
that's why I
balance will
said
be, or you think,
I replaced it with time management. You just have to know how to manage your time.
okay,
Um, and I feel like there are times that you have to sacrifice your life, not your life, but like personal life, like going out and things like that. There are times where you have to sacrifice that to really dump into your work. But then there's times where you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. So it's like sometimes it's not equally balanced, but there's always one over the next. Um, ooh, that's a good one, and that's what I'm gonna say. Fearless. You cannot have fear. Fear will get you nowhere. I'm sorry. You cannot live with fear. So, that'll be my